Behold, it is I, the guy. That's me. I'm the guy. Welcome. I haven't streamed in a while, but I was on vacation for like 8 days or something just got back yesterday. So I think that's a pretty good reason to not stream. I was off in Disney World. But yeah, back and to get a little bit into the flow of streaming yet again, we're going to go back to an old classic, rating games from my PSN profiles. Last time we left off, we ended here at Telling Lies. So we're going to start with Drunken Fist next. I will say other ones I have. The only other thing I noticed that I made sure to write down is that I have avoided talking about the Yakuza games. And that's probably going to continue just because I'm still in the middle of 5 and I need to bring it back for the channel. But, just finding time to do it. I have a Gamefly game I'm playing in the next couple days for the channel. So that'll probably take priority there. And then who knows? On my own off time, I'm probably doing High on Life because that just came out for PlayStation Plus, like free games. That's cool. But yeah, let's just get into it. One other thing I guess I'll mention. You'll notice these little like numbers and shit next to a bunch of these trophies. I have what would you call it? Like a browser extension put in here, and it gives what the general like difficulty is rated. I don't know what this shit is for like the 7x or the 3x or whatever the hell that's about. But then the thing next to it is about hours. Like generally, how many hours is that going to take to finish? Um, this might be playthroughs. 7x is probably 7 playthroughs of Clone High, which would make sense because there's 7 characters, and then I don't know how it'd be 3 playthroughs of Dragon Ball Fighters though, but I don't know, whatever. Anyway, we're gonna start with Drunken Fist. Play that one for the channel a while back. A GameFly game. It was pretty funny, and it led to me buying the PS4 version of the game during that stream because it was on sale for like I don't know 50 cents or $1 or some shit. I was like, that's funny. Yeah, sure, let's do it. It's hard to judge because it's not a good game, but it's not it's exactly what it is. It's just like you walk around with like your character controls like shit, and then you just like fight people. It's essentially like if you took if the little kid thing about like 2 action figures, 2 dolls or whatever, like smash them into each other as fighting. That's essentially what Drunken Fist is. But it's pretty funny for like $1, so that would be my official rating. But since I have to give like a number rating for myself, like I don't know, like a 6 out of 10. It's weighted differently just because it like costs so little. So I know there's probably games that are full of, like have way more content in them that would be rated lower than this game. But yeah, I just gotta. There's multiple things I factor in when I'm rating shit. Obviously, I'm not gonna rate the same game twice. But next on the list is me cleaning my glasses off stream here because wow, I just put those on and they are not good at all. But as I'm still looking blurry at the screen, I see Deathloop is the next game. Deathloop, I think a lot of people gave Deathloop shit that it didn't deserve in terms of like, I think the game is way better than people gave it credit for. I understand, like, look, you're not going to hit the highs of Dishonored. As a huge Dishonored fan, Dishonored 1, 2, and Death the Outsider, which I must have already talked about on this channel, on like one of these streams before. Fantastic game, fantastic series rather. But when it comes to Deathloop, like I get it, like you're not really capturing the same magic, but it's a different time period. Um, and B, like I don't know, the concept's cool. Like yeah, once you get everything done, you could make the argument of like, oh well, it's just the same way to break the loop every time. I do wish there was like at least one other additional way to fully break the loop. Um, like a different path, but I understand why that's so difficult to do. So I get that. Uh, for that in mind, though, like I think it's a really cool concept, and I like the idea of infusing like the whatever it did. Like, because once you hit that point, like you're pretty god tier. But like, hey, I get to keep this weapon this time, or this charm, or whatever, right? And like, oh, I'm slowly learning the map, and oh, it's different every time you come back. Like, I think there's a lot. The game's made for replayability, I guess is the best way to put it. And I think that's cool, pretty dope. Let me check something here real quick. So okay, so my mouse doesn't show up unless I am actively in the tab. Alright, cool, cool. Just wanted to double check that. Um, but yeah, I mean, I very much enjoyed the game. I do think the online was a little tacked on, especially with like the fact that there was trophies related to it, which I'm usually like I'm not a fan of games having online trophies for games that are single player. Otherwise, like I get the idea, like to give people incentive to do it, and likewise, doing that was a way to unlock outfits, and so it's like that's ideal. Um, it's like a decent way to get people to do that. But yeah, I just didn't, like I mean, and it was a cool concept of like, hey, you have like someone who's trying to kill you, and like, hey, it's a real player. Like, it was fun to play. Don't get me wrong, very fun to play. Just wasn't like after a while, it's just like I just want to play the game. You know what I mean? Like that felt like a very fun separate mode. I didn't really like it as much in the main mode because it's like, oh well, now I'm just being interrupted with my gameplay, and I don't really know if there's a way to like fix that sort of thing because it's kind of inherent to adding that sort of mechanic. But yeah, with that, I would say altogether, I would probably give Deathloop an 8 because I mean, there were some people that like some criticisms I've heard would include like, oh, maybe enemies kind of like lose sight of you if you go barely away from them, and that's definitely criticism I can respect. I agree with it. Um, but yeah, I don't. I feel like some of the other ones were just kind of. I can't remember them off the top of my head, but I remember hearing like not great things about the game when it launched. I'm sure in the actual playthrough I did of the channel because I streamed it all on this channel. Um, Besides some like the side content I did of my own in terms of the online mode, but the rest of it I did on stream. But I'm sure I've talked about some of the like criticisms I heard about like in that playthrough. Overall, though, I'd probably get the game yeah 8. Like I prefer Death Loop, or sorry, I prefer Dishonored more. But yeah, it's just cool shit. Uh, Konosuba, Fantastic Day. Nope, that's the mobile game that just shut down actually recently. Very, very disappointing. It's a gacha game. It doesn't exist anymore. And it was a global version that was running for a bit, and then it changed developers, and then we lost out on what would you call it? What the hell is it called? Lost out on like collabs pretty much because I guess they cost too much money. We ended up getting one collab finally that since that point because we had like what was it 3 collabs, and then it changed developers in terms of just the global version, and the English translations got a lot worse. But the responding to the community was a lot better, so it was a bit of a give and take. But yeah, then we missed one collab, we got another collab like way delayed, and then Japan shut down, like the entire country of Japan, obviously. The Japanese version of the game shut down, which I guess forced the global version of the game to shut down. And that was taking a while. But that was announced last year, and it finally just shut down like in the very end of January. That's very disappointing. I think because it's like February right now, and I think this is about the time I would have. Oh, actually, I can see it already. The 23rd of February is when I finally got a platinum in Konosuba. So yeah, it's almost a year ago from this date. Actually, 2 days sooner or earlier than this, I platinumed Deathloop. That's pretty cool. But yeah, so this is Konosuba. I'd play this on the stream, but this is Love for These Clothes of Desire. I don't think it's a good. It's hard to. Okay, so like in terms of the Konosuba content, I enjoy it, and that's it. In terms of the gameplay, it's very annoying to play. There's just I did a video for it too, actually, which was can I do this without no YouTube? I was hoping it was gonna show up at like the first recommendation when I just typed in YouTube, but whatever. Um, Konosuba. This video's actually been doing alright. But yeah, I did a gallery, like an unlock guide for everything for the picture and the scene gallery. So that ain't too bad actually, all things considered. But to bring it back to the game itself, yeah, I don't know. I would give it like a 5 out of 10, to be honest. It's just it's annoying because you you have to choose like what character you want, and you have to stick with that character the whole time. And I don't know if you have to do it like flawlessly, but you have to do pretty damn well with the character and not miss any sort of events with them. And then also, it's a case of like sometimes you'll have to make things for other characters to get the character that you actually want, which is annoying to keep track of. Um, and the fact that there's 7 characters total, because there's the main three: Darkness, Megumin, and Aqua. But then there's Chris, Sana, Union, and Wiz. And so it's like having to do 7 playthroughs of the game is pretty annoying. But you can skip by a lot of it, but it's just still like it's just it feels very clunky for what it's trying to do. I've played like cheaper free browser like porn games that have that have ran better in terms of like not being nearly as over the top complicated, which is saying something at least. Uh, but yeah, so like it's not a game I could recommend to anyone who isn't a Konosuba fan. And if you're a Konosuba fan, honestly, you're probably better off just watching a playthrough. You're like watching like a cutscene. Like here's every cutscene in the game, 4K quality, like one of those like no commentary, sort of things. Um, but yeah, that's how I feel about that. Dragon Ball Fighters, we already rated last time we streamed one of these, so I'm not gonna do that one again. Bluey was I've never seen the show, so I can't comment on the quality of the show because I'm an adult, so I haven't seen it. But they're Australian, so that automatically gives it a point, right? This one was nice in the sense that, like, when I did the playthrough for the channel, I had COVID, which, 2 times I've had COVID, and both times I had streamed children's games while having COVID. So that's one of those sort of situations. First time chatter, Dom Gun. How you doing? Yo, hopefully you're doing well. You're a good trophy hunter. I try to be. Here, I'll scroll up to. I almost said stream up. We got 342 platinums. Um, I've been on vacation for like a week and a half. That's why I haven't earned a trophy in 2 weeks. So just got back the other day. Uh, but yeah, I'll quickly scroll through just to showcase like the type of games I've played in the past as I'm scrolling through this anyway. I've streamed my ratings on these games, like talking about them the same way I'm doing right now on like all these games for the past year. So those are up on my YouTube channel, same name, G Gypsy. So if there's any of these where you're like, oh, I want to know what the fuck his opinion was on Bully or something, right? You can just always check that out. But I don't know, I think we're on like part 8 or 9 now at this point of this. So we've made it up to about 2023, 2024, something like that. So we're doing pretty good. I'm good. What about you? I have 31 plats. Hey, 30, dude, 31's a lot for because most people don't like trophy hunt at all. So most people only have like a couple platinums, if that. A lot of times people will have like maybe like the super popular games like Spider-Man or something, but most or like Astro Bot or something. And if you have like really older accounts, you'll see people have a couple of the like The Walking Dead or something, right? Like the Telltale games. At least some of them, because other ones you have to actually put in effort. But yeah, a lot of people don't trophy hunt, so seeing it like even having just like 10 is like, oh wow, that's actually like putting in effort for video games. But 31's pretty good, especially if it's like has it like this account's been from like 2009 or some shit, 11 something like that, 2010. So I got a bit more of a head start over most people. Yeah, I mean, Xenoverse 1, I'm going for that right now, but sadly I don't have enough friends for the Observe 7 battles. Oh, yeah, yeah. I got the plat for Xenoverse 1, PS4 one. I didn't do the PS3 one. That game fucking sucked. And I guess let me preface that with the fact I actually enjoyed the game, but the trophy hunting aspect of it was annoying. I remember there was several different missions. There was one in particular with with Namek that really pissed me off because with that game it's RNG on top of RNG. So like the issue was, and you know this obviously because you played it, but like the idea of like oh, you have to play like to get a certain unlock, like a beam or something, right? You have to like beat this mission, but it's not just beat the mission. You have to beat the mission in like a certain amount of time and or with a certain amount of health or whatever, right? And it's like fucking really dumb and annoying. And that gives you an RNG chance to pop like the special battle against like the like an armored up boss or whatever, right? It's like RNG chance, even if you do the right things. And then you have to beat the boss, which is like that's pain in the ass. And then an RNG chance for the thing to drop, which is so like that happened on a few of them, but there was one in particular I remember. It was like something to do with Namek, like beating someone on like just normal ass Namek quick enough, and fucking just hated it. It's so annoying. But yeah, uh, so yeah, that's one of the games I point to is like this sucks in terms of like RNG on top of RNG. Like I don't like that aspect of trophy hunting shit to be honest. But I like the game. Um, yeah, the game's very fun. I'm trying to scroll back to wherever the hell I just was, which is not your fault at all. I made the conscious choice to scroll somewhere around here. Yeah. Oh yeah, Bluey. Okay. I don't know. It probably plays like an episode of the game. It was very fun to just like do an Australian accent, like a really bad Australian accent while I had COVID, and just did that for like 3 hours. Uh, the gameplay was better than these games normally are, but not by much. It's like a really low bar to pass. So honestly, it's probably like a 4 or something. Like I wouldn't really recommend it at all. Puzzle Journey, Halloween Puzzle. These are really quick games. The platinum, as you can tell by the time. These are just free games on the PlayStation Store. That's the only reason I played them. Well, free and quick, right? Like I'm not gonna play a free game if it's fucking like 5,000 hours. I just recently convinced one of my friends to begin trophy hunting with me, so I have someone to do it with at least. Oh yeah, see that's what makes a lot of games a lot more fun if you have people to peek. Yep, quest number 37 is fucking horrid battle. I wonder if that's the one I'm thinking of. It might be. I'm not gonna remember the names because I did it back in like 20 whatever the fuck 15 or something. Xenoverse. There we are. That'd be cool if I didn't spell it wrong. 2015, December 2015. Where it is? Took 7 months. So that's fun. Um, I think I want to say that I used my like free trial PlayStation Plus to do this. Yeah, because I what did I platinum this on what the 21st? Yeah, so like the fact that I did all the online shit December 11th tells me that I either just got PlayStation Plus at that exact moment or like I used one of the free trials for it. Um, but yeah, trophy hunting's a lot of fun with people, and when you can actually do it. Anyway, no, we already did Blue. Puzzle Journey, Halloween Puzzle. These, I mean, all these type of games from this type of developer. I don't always know if it's the same developer every time. These ones, I'm pretty sure. These games are all trash. I mean, they're just like 2 out of 10. If that, like, you only do it for the quick platinum, to be honest. Like, that's it. Nothing else to be said about that. Dead Island. Pretty sure I already talked about Dead Island, but I went back this year and like platinumed it. 2024 was a big year of like cleaning up PS3 games. So cool. As you can tell by me getting most of these trophies initially in 2013. Well, first in 2011 and then 2013. And coming back to 2024 playing a fucking PS3 game. It's like, what these. The fact that the servers even work are like crazy. I even went back in like 2020, as you can tell, for a couple of these where I'm like, here, let me do a couple of these. Like, I'll clean up a couple trophies, right? Like ones that were like, I can just watch a guide real quick, run over here in like 2 seconds, get this sort of kill or that kill or whatever, and get these Gil. It was pretty much just get every trophy except for the online ones. And then this, what was it? Actually, yeah, I think it was literally just I did every trophy but the online ones in 2020. And then like some of the Bloodbath ones because this was DLC, so I didn't really care as much. Hello Neighbor 2, awful. We're just gonna scroll up real quick to find Hello Neighbor 1 because I know I eventually did that one as well. I just want to find it. I know it's here somewhere. There it is. Yeah, this one sucked too, and they're both awful games. This one was Hello Neighbor 1 was more annoying because like the physics on it were janky as fuck. Um, fucking, it really wasn't 11 hours. I like walked away to do shit for a while, but yeah, I don't know. Like 1 out of 10 wouldn't recommend the experience. At least the puzzle games are quick. Hello Neighbor 2 is a like better game in the sense that like it functioned better, but it's still like not a fun experience. It's just kind of like whatever. It's a far less annoying experience, though I will say. So like I don't know, like 4 out of 10 or something. Three, we'll do like a 3.5 out of 10 actually. What is this? Oh, so this tells you on gaming sessions too. Wow, that's cool. I've never seen this on this extension I have here, so that's really cool that you can see that. Pac-Man World Repack. I fuck with Pac-Man pretty hard. He's cool. I love the guy. This is actually a free game right now on PlayStation Plus, like the free monthly games. So anyone who has PlayStation Plus should play this game. This is like a unique time for me to, I guess, to stream me going over a game I platinumed fucking in March of last year. But cool. I mean, it's just like a 3D Pac-Man world sort of deal. It's a lot more linear, I will say. Like Pac-Man World 2, this is World 1, which is a PS1 game, and it was remade. I own World 2. That was the only one I played as a kid. I mean, I played other Pac-Man games, but in terms of like the Pac-Man World game, World 2 was the only one I really played. That game fucking slaps, so I really hope they remake that one. Even just port it. Like, I'd be cool with paying like $10 with a port and just like play it again. But especially for trophies. But that one like plays a bit more with like the 3D aspect a bit more. Um, so this game is really like I love platformers, and this game is no exception. But it's a lot more linear, which could be a detriment to some people. I think it's fine. The Pac-Man trophy for this is the only reason it's like 6 out of 10 on this. By the way, is there's like a Pac-Man trophy, like the original Pac-Man. Where is it? Get clear round 9 of original Pac-Man. Like that one's like vaguely kind of annoying, but not by much. Um, it just requires you to look up a guide, to be honest. Otherwise, you are good to go, sort of deal. Yeah. So what would I rate? Honestly, like I feel like a 9 out of 10 is like right where I want to place Pac-Man World Repack. Because it's cool. It does what it's trying to do. Like, hey, let's remake World 1 with like modern looking whatever, and the controls aren't. Because I don't know, maybe the controls were good for the PS1 game, but I don't know, man. 3D, like really early 3D platformers generally shit controls. Very unfortunate because I mean there's some good 3D platformers like from the N64 PS1 era, but like man, like early 3D was not. It was an uphill battle to put it lightly. But yeah, this is really well done. So yeah, 9 out of 10. We already talked about Fall Guys and like one of the other ones because there's just another stack I did of it. We'll talk about Minefield real quick. Mind it's just Minesweeper, but like we have to legally call it something else, I guess. Did I do the other? Did I do like another version of it? I feel like I must have. Okay, so I've already talked about it. This there was a while, like here and there, I'll find out that a game has like a different regional stack that I'm not aware of. But if it's a free game, then I'll go and grab it. So like I found the EU stack of that. Anyway, let's talk about Lake. Um, I think jokingly I call this game Lesbian Lake because there's like a you can do like a lesbian option in it, which shout out to lesbians. But I don't know, it's a fun little game where it's like I mean, it's about as indie as you're gonna expect from indie games. It's like, hey, you're hustle. What is it? Honestly, it's kind of like a Hallmark Channel movie as a game because it's like you come back to like your old town from being like a businesswoman and like, but in this case, now you're working as like a post office worker to like replace your dad doing it or something. And then it's like you find out you really are enjoying the town. So now it's a pull between like, are you gonna go back to your office life? Or are you gonna go back? Like, are you gonna stay here and do mail lady bullshit? And the game actually gives you a choice to do it. So I think the game's 7. Yeah, I messed up, so I had to like redo a couple things. And this one was like I think either split it in between two streams, or I played a bit of it on one. Like I beat the game normally, and then I went back off stream like the next day and did it. So 7 hours is definitely is like longer than it actually was, but I don't know. I mean, the game's alright. It's like a 4 out of yeah, like a 5 out of 10, I guess. Like the controls are really where it kind of falls apart. A little bit, not a whole lot, but like it's a little kind of like it's a little janky on the driving at times, and then there's something else too. I forget what it was, but it was just like there was something else where it was vaguely annoying to me, but not enough to be a huge deal. Unpacking. I'll be honest, I cheated unpacking, so it's probably not fair for me. Like I like the idea of unpacking, so I'm not gonna rate it. I just cheated it. So, and what do you mean by cheated it? You might be wondering. Well, you can turn on a thing where like it doesn't matter where you place it because the idea is you're supposed to place these items in specific spots. Like it's like a puzzle game like that. And I was doing that for like a little bit in the beginning, and then I was like, whatever. Like I stopped doing that. That's why there's a difference of like 40 minutes roughly between the PS4 and the PS5 stick. But yeah, I mean it's cool in the sense that like there's like a storytelling aspect going on because it's like the different years and like where you're moving into and like the type of things that you know. So like I don't want to spoil any of it, but yeah, it's cool for what it is. But yeah, I'm not gonna rate it. This next game is my least favorite. This is my least favorite game I've ever platinumed in my life, and it's not even close. It used to be Rechain of Memories, the PS3 version, for the reason that the PS3 version of the 1.5 games, which are Kingdom Hearts 1 and Kingdom Hearts Rechain of Memories, did not stack on difficulty trophies, so you had to play each difficulty separately. Which for Rechain of Memories, there's two characters and they each have three difficulty settings, so you had to beat the game 6 times. Plus, the grind to level 99 was like really fucking tedious for the second character specifically. Anyway, that's not important. What's important here is that new Tales of the Borderlands is a game that's fucking trash. What a terrible game. So first of all, you have the issue of like everyone being like, I have to be the quirky, funny person, and The original Tales from the Borderlands wasn't that fucking hammy with it, which that's part of it, but like also it's annoying how they're hammy in situations where they shouldn't be hammy. Like there's this one lab assistant of one of the characters. I fucking forget their names, but like there's this it's like there's this one scientist lady, and then because the main three characters is one scientist lady, her brother who's like trying to be like a businessman. There's like a robot with him, and then there's some woman in a wheelchair that like works at the fucking that works in a like because it's like a weaponized wheelchair, like it has like crazy ice power shit. And it hovers and shit, and she works at what was it? It's not an ice cream place. What the fuck was it? Froyo. It was like frozen yogurt. But yeah, it's like those are the four main characters. But like the what was it? The doctor lady, whatever the scientist was. I'm trying to think of what the fucker. Like I can't remember any of their names. I cannot remember a single one of their names. Oh, Fran. Yeah, I remember. Okay, she was actually. I liked her more than. Well, she had her moments. She had her moments. I like some of her moments more than some of the others, at least. But yeah, so Fran was the one with the crazy freezing chair. But I can't remember the other ones at all. But the one that's like the head scientist lady, she has like an assistant. The assistant is like doing the quirky shit too, and so is. But it's like they're getting invaded in the very beginning of the game by like so much enemies, and like their lives are put on the line. They're still doing like the little XD random so quirky. It's like you're literally like you were possible seconds from dying. Like, and you clearly don't have any combat experience, so it's like it's not like you're being like super cool, like cool, calm, collected. Like this is just an average day. Like I don't know, it's just like it's very stupid. Like just like shit like that. It's really dumb and annoying. Um, some of the dialogue was fucking awful. I can't remember exactly what they like the exact lines, but it wasn't. It wasn't like funny awful like say Life is Strange where it's like fucking amaze balls or something where it's like this is ridiculous. It was I don't know, it's just like annoying. Um, and then goddamn, it's just remembering the game pisses me off. So like, I don't like remembering the game. Like the main issue, the number one main issue with the game by far, because there were some funny moments, like the fighting mechanic thing that they have is actually I thought was generally pretty funny, but the trophy hunting aspect was fucking terrible. And the thing is, the game incentivizes it to be like that anyway. Like even if you're not going necessarily for trophy hunting, like if you're trying to go for just the best outcome, it still is incentivized like in a terrible way because there's this thing called a skateboard rating, and then there's like relationship um and number stuff. So the idea is that you're trying to do things that like benefit the team and things that make you like not messing up QTEs, and then choosing specific. So it's like you have to choose specific options in like every fucking interaction, not just like the big sweeping ones, because you always expect that in like a Telltale style game. Even though Telltale was not the people that made this game, they made the original game, the Tales from the Borderlands. Um, it's this fucking skateboard rate, and it's just awful. So it's like you're trying to balance everything, trying to balance three different sets of relationships with people. Yeah, this game sucks. I agree. Uh, where's the one? You had to view every ending. Like, what a fucking pain in the ass. But yeah, it's just like so stupid. Yeah, finish the game with a good skateboard rating. It's like you never get a perfect one because some of the choices you have to do to increase relationships between, like, say these two characters, or like these two characters, or like these two, might slightly mess up a relationship with another character, or they might not be the right skateboard rating thing or whatever. And it's just like it's just fucking exhausting. The whole point is that you have to follow a guide like for every single choice you do, which is completely antithetical to the idea of what a Telltale Styles type of game should be, where your choices are, supposed to matter. Of course, a lot of times they don't. It's very shoehorned into specific choices, which I understand because like building a game that really has crazy branching paths would be pretty much impossible on that scale. But um, it's just it's so annoying with this because at least there's like an illusion of it, and in some cases it does actually have some choices do really have lasting effects in some of these games, like The Walking Dead is a good example. Season one, the choice between Carly and Doug does actually matter for quite a while, especially if you choose Carly. Like she seems to actually really affect the thing. The Walking Dead season three, the New Frontier one, also has one with the Conrad choice that makes a huge difference on certain things. Yada yada. But this game, it's just like the whole point is to make make these choices, and if you're forced into making a certain choice, consistently making a bunch of these choices, it just like completely ruins the gameplay experience. So pretty much you're just sitting there watching a guide, but then the person who made the guide fucking sucked at making the guide. And so I had to find a different guide, and the guide I found was in fucking Brazilian Spanish. But the audio, like the dialogue, or yeah, the audio was in English, but the text options were in Brazilian Spanish. So it's like you had to hope that it matches up. Basically, like New Tales from the Borderlands, fucking awful, terrible game. Um, 0 out of 10. I feel very comfortable giving it a 0 out of 10. I don't know if it's the only 0 out of 10 I've given. I don't like let's just give it a 0.5 out of 10. There were a couple of times where I actually laughed in it. Like I'm not gonna act like there was never a joke I didn't find funny because yeah, a couple of places I did. Also, I guess I should say, completely fucking sidelines one of the characters. Well, two of the characters, I guess three actually. Three of the four original characters that you really want to know about. Like three of them get completely fucking sidelined. One until like right barely near the end as a fucking as like a cameo, and then the other one it's like you see him for a little bit and you get a little bit of him, but he just doesn't feel the same. So yeah, fuck this game. It sucks. Worst movie any experience I've had. The Gardens Between. This is a cool puzzle game where you can. It's just about like people living next door to each other, and then eventually, life happens or whatever. It's a very quick game, but it's a really cool puzzle game in the sense of you go like backwards and forwards, right, in time, and so your character's like moving around like an island essentially, right? Like imagine you playing Crash Bandicoot One, your character's like moving around the island. The island's pretty much moving with it, like kind of like your character's like a weird circle thing going around it. It's kind of like that with this, which is I know a weird comparison, but like whatever. Like you're going around this island sort of deal, and as you push it forward in time, your character goes forward, and as you push it backwards, it goes backwards. But then depending on different mechanics, you want to sometimes go backwards. Maybe you land on like some sort of platform. Otherwise, um, like there's one spot where you're jumping on I want to say it's a calculator, and you have to jump forward and backwards on a calculator to get a certain number sequence to activate something else. And so there's a lot of cool shit like that with the puzzles. So yeah, I mean, I would definitely recommend the game. It's quick platinum. Art style's cool. Just yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool indie game all around. Like I would definitely like if you like puzzle games, like you probably would like this game. So I don't know, like 7, 8 out of 10. Is 8 out of 10 too high? I don't know. It depends on the price. I don't know what the price is. I'm too lazy to go look it up. If it's like if it's less than $10, I would say get it, especially if it's less than five. I had this when it was PlayStation Premium. I played it, um, or extra. I mean, sorry, not premium. PJ Masks sucks. Who cares? These games always take too long. So I had some moments on stream just making fun of it, but otherwise, like, who cares? 3.5 out of 10. Sure, why not? Chicken Police. Chicken Police was a very fun game, and they have a sequel out that I need to play. And I've been meaning to pick up the other stacks of this, to be honest. Like especially at least the PS5 stack. But so the problem is, I want to buy this game on disc, but then the disc version is only the PS4 version. Whereas if you buy it on if you buy it on like PlayStation, yeah, it's the digital version, but it gives you PS4 and PS5. But yeah, cool detective game, noir detective. For some reason, the characters have animal heads on human bodies. It's really dumb and cliche, but like I enjoy it. Yeah, I thought it was pretty fun. So I like a 6 out of 10. Like I don't think it's a game I'd really want to. Like I would replay it for the trophies, but if I replayed it for the trophy, like this took longer by the way because I fucked up on one part and I had to replay the whole thing. But I just skipped through all the dialogue the second time because obviously I did discovered it the first time. This is just PJ Mask again, which I just talked about. So this is like I did the other stack probably just afterwards. PUBG. Is this the first? Oh wow, PUBG. Yeah. Okay, well before I talk about PUBG, let's talk about Animal Trap. I won a contest on Twitter, like one of those like, hey, if you follow this account, you like and retweet this shit, you're in for uh like a raffle for this shit. And it's like, okay, yeah, sure, I'll do that, whatever, right? And I done it for the account a couple times, and I won this time, and it's just like it's not a good game, but like it was free for me. It's not free for other people. I earned it for free, so like whatever. The game's like a 1 out of 10. You just drop shit in a crane game style thing, and like you have to match things up like it's fucking Puyo Puyo Tetris. Except the items get the items get bigger as they match up. So I mean, it's very there's like no substance to it at all. So when I say 2 out of 10, that's probably about right. 1 out of 10. Actually, yeah, let's go 1 out of 10. PUBG would be a lot more annoying, but they added bot lobbies like a while ago, like years ago or whatever, and all you have to do is turn on PlayStation only for your searching thing instead of crossplay, and you end up against bots a lot more. I did it back before they buffed the bots, probably like half a year ago or something, so it was like a lot easier when I did it. As you can tell, I started in March, and then I finished in April, so it only took me a month to platinum this. The 1,000 kills is kind of annoying, I guess, but it's just like you just keep playing. There was a point where I was getting 25, 30, 35 kills. I think the highest I ever got was 33 kills or something in one match. Because it was just a case of like a bunch of bots landing in certain areas and they just were terrible. They didn't have any weapons and they're not very good at the AI pathing was like not good. So it's just I could just sit there and like mow a bunch of them down, run them over and shit. It helps with a bunch of these, like this one, for example, the assault or sniper rifle from over 100 meters away. If you kill them with the assault rifle, it doesn't matter. The distance doesn't matter. And with all of these, if you down someone first, any way you down them doesn't matter. What you finish them with is what counts. So, like, if you down someone with an AR and then you finish them off with a pistol or finish them off with a grenade, it counts for the grenade or the pistol or whatever instead of counting for the gun you downed them with initially. And there were a couple other ones that were like easy enough to like figure out. Like a suppressed weapon in every slot, you could swap between because the suppressor for the pistol and the SMG are the same suppressor. So like you just need just two suppressors, and then you swap one to the other item real quick, and it counts as having three, even though you only had two. This one, get into a vehicle with an enemy player, you just put a downed bot into the front seat of the car, and then yeah, so you get that. And the rest are just like how you expect them to play. So very easy platinum. Now, when it dropped, obviously it was like way harder, but now it's pretty simple. Actually, now specifically it would take longer, but it would still be simple enough. There was a situation where there's a trophy called Now You See Me, Now You Don't, Clip a Ghillie Suit for the first time. March 19th is when I got this trophy. March 21st, 2024 is when the trophy became unobtainable due to some update that they changed with how the ghillie suits work. And so I was not able to platinum the EU version until much later. So I had finished the EU version. I had started it just immediately after, like in April. Um, and then I was not like I finished it all in April, to be honest, except for the Ghillie Suit Trophy, which is done in September. Why do I not see the trophy? There it is. September 12th, so I had to wait till then, which was like really dumb and annoying. But everything else, like I just grinded through the whole time. So it's cool. It's an okay game, to be honest, when it comes to PUBG. Like it's alright. I enjoyed it, especially with as Dom was saying earlier, who was here. The idea of like doing it with friends is cool because I had a friend that I was doing it a bit with. A couple of friends I made in game, and a couple I already had like otherwise that were trophy hunters. So it was, it was cool. Like, oh hey, you need the crossbow here? I just found it randomly here. You go pick that up because there was like one for getting 10 crossbow kills. No one's a pain in the ass. Mainly, it's a pain in the ass because like the spawn rate for the crossbow is so low, which makes sense because it's a dog shit weapon. But it's just especially when it's not even like a one hit kill, which is usually it is. Sometimes it's not though, so it's like this sucks. But yeah, I mean it's really cool to go through it with that. It's weird because with PUBG, I think the shooting's good in the game, but I think the controls in terms of like trying to like jump over shit, it's really weird and annoying and clunky, and so is driving. But otherwise, I think it like I said, I think the main aspect of like shooting works really well. Like it feels right. So I don't know. I'd give the game like a 6.5. It's fine, especially for a free game. It does take a while though, so it is what it is. We'll go Doki Doki. The fact that it's censored on PlayStation is really dumb. The blood is like more black than it is red. For some reason, Sony acts like you have to censor. If a game's like, oh, this is Japanese, we gotta censor it. When it comes to like if it's like anime style looking shit, you know what I mean? Like if it's more like, oh, this is like a kawaii thing, time to censor. It's like what? I don't know why we do that, especially on something like this. Like the whole point is it's like a psychological horror thing. Like as long as it's fucking like what is it rated? Is there a rating for this? Like in terms of like an ESRB thing? Actually, I'll look it up right now, because I have my PlayStation on near me, so I could just look it up real quick. I'll just search up the word Doki, and I'm sure it'll pop up. Yep, in my library. All right, view product. What do we got? Is it going to be M rated? You would think so. What the fuck? Does it not have a like? Does PlayStation not do ratings on their shit? You would think there'd be an like they have a what do they have? They have tags for it, but it just says this game is not suitable for children and those who are easily disturbed, which is fair. Um, yeah, why does it not say like, oh, this is like, oh, there it is, rated M. Yeah, it's rated M. So like, if it's rated M, then like, there's no reason the blood should be fucking censored on it. There's no reason it should be censored on it. Like, we're not talking like copious amounts. I mean, it's not great. Like, it's like, oh, because it's like it's mentioning like or not mentioning. It's like showing like a suicide situation. But it's like that's the whole. Like, the whole point is like to fuck you up. Like it's showing that this girl's fucking crazy and like she has issues and shit. It's supposed to be a shocking moment. Like I don't know. And like at the end of the day, is it that big of a censorship? No, but like it still is enough of one that's like this is like dumb and stupid that they did that. Such a meaningless choice, really, is what the issue I take with it. But yeah, I mean, like I said though, I will fully admit, like it's not like a huge deal. Like it's not like the biggest deal breaker ever. I just think it's dumb as fuck that they do that shit. In terms of trophy hunting, it's mostly fine. There's one trophy that's a fucking pain in the ass. So what is it? Um, it's like finding everything in the game. Like I forget the exact name of the trophy, but yeah, 100% data collection. That one fucking sucks because there's one. It's like you have to keep reloading a screen on one part of the game and hoping that it pops. It's like, oh, there's like a fucking 0 point whatever percent chance this shows up. It's like, cool. I can't wait to spend fucking 2 hours looking for it. It's just like constantly like closing and opening, closing and opening, closing and opening, and it's just so it's irritating. So that's a I think that's not a fun mechanic. So that drags it down a bit. Anyway, you know what? I think it's cool the Doki Doki thing. Admittedly, I was skipping through the dialogue because I had already seen a full playthrough of the game from someone else. So like the factor of it for me of like experiencing it would not have been there. But yeah, I mean, I was pretty like shocked the first time I saw it. I was like, what the fuck? Definitely. Usually don't expect that with games, so I definitely hit with that. It just wasn't hit with it on the PlayStation aspect of it. Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the game itself is, I mean, probably like a 7, 6.5. We'll go 6.5. Like the trophy hunting aspect, like I said, is like there's like one or two aspects of it that are annoying. But otherwise, yeah, that was another thing too. You had to like play through certain parts to like get certain screen, like certain poems, and it's RNG chance. So like that shit's dumb and annoying. But very minor things altogether, like the gameplay itself and the themes, the story, and yada yada. I think it's enough to hold it together. Otherwise, so it's like 6.5. I'd say it's cool. Like really, really dope concept. I guess at the end of the day. Call of the Sea. Call of the Sea is fine. I like the story. That's about it. I mean, it's like a puzzle game. It's another indie puzzle game, but this one is like you have to go to the sea to try to find like what the fuck happened to your soon-to-be husband or something. Your adventurer lady who's like I don't know, like you're like Jane, I think, essentially, like the Tarzan Jane sort of deal, except a little bit more capable, maybe. I don't know. Also, you don't have your dad following you. Um, Also, you're not really beating Tarzan, so it's not like the same thing. But it's like that. I just meant that in the sense of like you're British adventuring lady or something. Also, the what happens with it, like why he left in the first place, and then why you're there, and like how that comes back into play, and like different mechanics that end up getting involved with it. Like it's cool. Also, it's obviously a pretty quick platinum, which is the main theme of a bunch of these. Is I'm playing them because they're quick platinums. But that doesn't mean a bad thing, you know what I mean? Like there's plenty of like fun, like all these indie games so far have been pretty good. Doki Doki's good, Call of Sea is good. Um, I thought Chicken Police was good. Garden Queen was definitely like really good. Unpacking like seemed pretty good, even though I just like was like fuck it after. Lake is alright, you know what I mean? Like it's cool. Like definitely, like I played a lot of fun indie games. Honestly, the Artful Escape's cool too, which we'll talk about momentarily. Same thing with Minute, fucking great. Yeah, Call of the Sea probably give like a yeah like a 6, just like a standard 6. It's not as fun. Like there's just kind of a lot of walking around to some extent. The Artful Escape, I think also the Artful Escape I would give a we'll say 6.5 because it does like there's some yeah, let's do a 7. I think with the music and the art style especially is what really drew me into Artful Escape and in a later game in the I won't talk about it like too much here, but there's a game called Grist that I played near the end of the year. And that game's art style was fucking gorgeous. Big fan. I like those kind of neon kind of, lights. Really, really good. But yeah, where was I at here? What was that? Artful Escape. Yeah, the whole thing about like, oh hey, I'm part of this like family of someone who's like really famous, and I have to live up to this expectation, but like I want to do something else. Actually, it's like I want to do the same thing, but like a remix of it, essentially. Like I want to forge my own path, I guess. But then you kind of shoehorned into this thing and like trying to break through that, which I thought that was what I thought the whole game was gonna be about, and then all of a sudden it turned to like it had a really huge fucking pivot, and I don't, and they used that pivot to explore the idea, even more so, like the idea that I just mentioned, where it's like, what's your identity, sort of deal. A bit weird, and then the perspective is just like it's yeah, it is a lot of just like, hey, you just run through and like you play guitar, but it's cool. It definitely, I think the story was like wacky enough, and the presentation was wacky enough that it kept my interest. I don't think it would do a whole lot for like replays though. Same thing with Call of the Sea, to be honest. But certain games don't need to be replayed. It's like, oh, that was a good experience for what it was. So Phil's game, yeah, 7 out of 10. I want to say minutes and 8 out of 10. Minutes a game where you die. Your character dies after 60 seconds of gameplay. So you're trying to do a bunch of shit, and you can extend it more by like if you hit certain checkpoints. Like, oh hey, I set up a checkpoint here in this new house, and so next time I die, my character will be here instead. But like you're trying to collect all this shit though. Like, oh, I had to collect this water thing and then water this and then do that real quick before I die. It's just cool. It's constantly resetting, and you're trying to do shit as it resets. It's like all black and white. Um, Helping people out around the world, like it's like some weird like RPG kind of Zelda-ish vibes, kind of like in terms of how it looks. Also, the fact that your character has a sword and it just swings around, kills shit. But really cool. Obviously, a quick game as well, but whatever. Yeah, so 8 out of 10. I'd recommend it for sure for anyone that likes like indie games. 3D mini golf. This game sucked. I really shouldn't have even played it the second time, to be honest. Like, what a pain in the ass. Yeah, this game has one unobtainable trophy, which is not really unobtainable. Yeah, you're the winnable attorneys. I don't know at what point they mentioned that this is like unobtainable. It's not, but whatever. Um, so this was annoying in the sense that like there's a couple of trophies that are really annoying. There's one where you have to fucking hit the ball like, yeah, 1,001 times, rowdy. You literally have to hit the ball 1,001 times. That's really annoying. This one you have to sink in the water 100 times. But yeah, there are a couple of them where it's just like, man, this ball feels like it's impossible to get this to fucking land where it needs to land. Um, but yeah, the tourney thing. I mean, where's the one that's like they act like it's fucking impossible to get? I don't. Yeah, prom king. Here we go. So this isn't missable, but like I guess there's some sort of issue with it in terms of the idea. Yeah, you get first place in tournaments for 10 times. Let's see why it's listed as that. I want to double check because I remember something vaguely about this. It's Nintendo version 1.0 of the game. Just play the physical version to stop the update, but don't buy the game on the PlayStation Store. Um, so yeah, version 1.01 is glitched. PlayStation. Weird. So I don't remember that being the issue. Oh, so it's only the PS4 version, people were saying. I remember someone was mentioning something along the lines of like one of these games. I don't know if it's this one specifically, but I remember there being some sort of issue of like, hey, if you just you either need to like own the game on disc or like have like a I don't know, someone needed to be first or something. It was like a whole thing. I don't recall. Anyway, the game sucked. It was like, hey, if you want to play golf with your friends, but objectively worse because the holes are less exciting on it, and the gameplay is just dumb and annoying. It's like, oh boy, if that's your idea of a good time, be sure to play 3D mini golf. It's just a miserable experience. Anyway, Sports Friends is a game you do pretty quickly. It seemed alright. Um, the trophies were so fucking weird with it though. Like it was really, I feel like having to go out of your way to do a bunch of random shit with it. But anyway, 3D mini golf is like a 2 out of 10, not a good game. Sports Friends, I don't know, it's like a 5 out of 10. It's fine. It's pretty inoffensive, I guess. What do we got here? Freddy Fish. Should I say for? I mean, to be honest, well, not all of them, I guess. Let me double check the Freddy Fish games real quick because it's like Freddy Fish 1, 2, and 3, which popped up pretty quickly after each other, and then 4 and 5 got separated by quite a bit. The game did get or the series, I guess, got notably better after 2 in the sense that like 3 was really cool because the who did it was like randomized. Also, the where you can find the stuff I think is more randomized in later games. But overall, I'd say the Freddy Fish games, all 5 of them really, are probably going to be about the same score, where they're about a 7. You know, maybe like 3 would be like a 7.5. They're good, educational, whatever games. Same thing with like the Putt Putt and Pajama Sam and shit like that. Um, but Luther's just kind of annoying, and Freddy's just like whatever. I don't know, something about the dynamic of both of them was just like meh. Also, maybe I just don't like the underwater parts as much, which is obviously everything because they're fish, but like I just mean in terms of like Humongous Entertainment, the name of the developer. Because I do like Putt Putt more. Um, I like the side characters more in Putt Putt, I guess. Like Outback Al, the fucking I don't know if her name's Rosie, but like the moon worker. Well, okay, so it says like the moon worker guy, and there's like the bumper car one is the one I was thinking of. The bumper car girl. There's also there's like the worker. I'm thinking of all of like mainly just Putt Putt enters the race to be honest. But like Smokey the fire engine, fucking, and maybe it's all just nostalgia, and I'm sure a large part of it is, but like whatever. Because I don't know the whole like well the squid father like an like how it's a Godfather, but it's like a squid. It's kind of just like whatever. Or Uncle Blammy or whatever the fuck. Like they're all just kind of like whatever characters. They do what they need to do. The mayor was kind of funny on the one though, I will say. But yeah, I don't think it's enough to really bring it on home, as they say. So yeah, so that in mind, yeah, 7.5 on 3, I guess, and probably I like the Western one quite a bit too, actually. So probably give that to we'll say 3, 4, and 5 or 7.5, and then 1 and 2 are just 7, I guess. Anyway, back down to here. Dalo and Riptide already talked about it, but yeah, I cleaned up the PS3 stack for the online. Roblox sucks. Dumb, stupid. It's whatever. I mean, it's a quick platinum. It only takes like an hour, but like, the problem is, I couldn't find people for. Yeah, because you have to play an hour for this one, but like, You joined a PlayStation Network party and played a Roblox. This one was just fucking weird. Like I've never seen a trophy that like requires this. You know what I mean? It's just I don't know. Like I tried to do something with this and it didn't work. I remember initially, and then eventually I got to work some other way. But you played a Roblox, three-year friends. This was just annoying because I had to make like, or was it? I had to have like someone come in. They came in with alt accounts because, yeah, like I don't play video games with people that play Roblox for obvious reasons. You know, I'm like I'm over twice the age of your average Roblox user, so not a lot of Roblox users on my friends list, if any. So yeah, then like hunt down some other trophy hunter and be like, "Yo, can you help me out, homie?" Wait, what does that say? Why? The Turkish government just banned Roblox. It's funny. It's not funny, but like it's kind of funny. The title is funny, but the actual idea that a game gets banned is just cringe. Hmm, that sucks. Anyway, I mean, I don't know. I don't even know how to rate Roblox. I didn't play enough of it. I think it looks dumb in terms of like I hate the weird fucking like fake like not really Lego but like a low rent Lego look to everything. Also, the monetization in it seems pretty fucked. I gotta say, but I do think the fact that there's like so much customization in terms of like making worlds, I guess, it seems kind of neat. So on that alone, I'll give it a 2 out of 10. But that's all you're getting from me. Firewatch. Firewatch was really cool, but I do think it's overhyped. To be honest, after finally playing it after all these years, I don't know, 6 out of 10. It's fine. There's people that were giving it like tens and shit, and it's just like I don't no way. It's just too much walking, just a little bit too much walking. If they cut down the walking by like 15%, I think I'd have a much higher score. A Bentley's hack pack. I had to buy this on the PS3 store in the year fucking 2024. I think it was like a dollar DLC or like a $3 DLC or something. It was the only thing I was missing in this like Cooper thing initially, and now I'm missing more than that because they added in. Or sorry, I'm missing all the Vita shit to be honest, but like until they recently added in the PS4 and PS5 stacks of Slide 2 and 3, it was the only other things I was missing. So yeah, but I did it. It's fine. It's just the mini games from Sly 4. I think essentially in terms of like there's like three different types of mini games. There's like the ball rolling one, which is very okay. I guess I will say I like the idea that it's like an arcade, and then there's a bunch of like collectibles you can look at, and then at the end of it all, there's like a band playing thing. Like that's cool. But in terms of these, I don't like. What was it specifically? There's like the tank one. I like the tank one. I don't like the ball one with the six-axis controls. That one sucks ass. And then there's the other one where it's like he's floating in and it's like a Rambo type on like an on the rails kind of shooter deal, and that one was okay. So overall, especially with the price considered, but there is no platinum. Overall, I'd say it's like a 7. I would be willing to give it a 9 if it not for the fucking really shitty six-axis like pinball thing. Like if I was allowed, hell, even if they kept it, but I was allowed to use the sticks, L3 and R3 or whatever. If I was allowed to use those instead, then it would still be a 9 out of 10. But now it goes down to a 7 because of it. Noir, I don't know how to pronounce it, but play with your food. Um, 5 out of 10. You can play with your food. It's something trophy list on it. It's kind of weird though. You just do everything, but then it's like particularly one of the more annoying trophies is Sorry, I was yawning. Doing the speed combo 5 times in a row is kind of a bitch, but if you do the slow down one, that one's pretty easy. But if you do that a bunch to slow everything down, it's a little bit easier to do the speed one because it starts out slow and slower than it normally would. Another annoying trophy. It was really weird because this is like 2 different sets of trophies. Oh yeah, feed the jellyfish every food is like fucking stupid. The idea that you have to like keep track of every little dumbass food thing is absurd because the game itself doesn't really keep track of it. So you're just spamming shit until the jellyfish randomly spawns in RNG. Ugh. Oh yeah, this was when like you had to like sing into the mic as well, which is really weird. So like, there's a difference in these trophies, which is very odd and annoying. Because this one has 30 trophies, this one has 28. So I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't recommend the game from like a trophy hunting experience, I guess. But it's I mean, it's whatever. If you're just gonna play it for like a tiny bit, I guess it's fun to spam random food for a bit. Uh, Daedalus, was it the Jake Hunter experience or something? The Adventures of Golden Abyss or something? I didn't like this game. I didn't like the story at all. I guess it's part of a series. I don't give a fuck about it. It was just a tedious slog for me. So 2 out of 10. I can respect like some of the storytelling aspects of it, but yeah, I just didn't care enough. We did skip by World of Wars. I guess we'll go back to it. This is another one of those clean up the game sort of deal. This I did veteran mode. I'm still editing the death comp on this, which it's taken forever for me to do that. Mainly because it just I don't go out of my way to do whatever because I don't really edit most of my videos besides trimming. So going through and like grabbing every single death of that fucking 16-hour playthrough essentially because it was an 8 hour playthrough and then there was a 4 hour playthrough and then there was another 4 hour playthrough. Very fucking annoying. But yeah, veteran mode's broken and stupid, so like that part of it sucks ass. But everything else in this is cool for the most part, I guess. I had to buy I had to buy Map Pack 2, which is annoying because when I was younger, I bought Map Pack 1 and 3 because I was like, dude, nobody likes Shinonuma, is what I was hearing because I ended up buying the thing way after like Black Ops 1 era sort of shit. It's like, I'll play this zombies all the time, and then I end up pretty much never playing it. Um, Mm. Also, it was annoying because like Map Pack 1 doesn't even have trophies. It's just 2 and 3. So like I was not a trophy hunter back then, but as you can tell, I got 3. I did it back in 2012. A couple of these. So I played a little bit of Map Pack 3 and a tiny bit of Map Pack. Honestly, Map Pack 1 I really didn't care for it that much. But yeah, 2 and 3 had so it's really I was like, oh, I'll save $5, right? Because there's like you either buy it for 25 bucks because they're $10 each, so that'd be 30 total, or you buy it for 25, which is a bundle of all three, so you save $5. But I was like, I'll save $10 because I won't, or yeah, I'll save like an initial amount of money because I won't buy Shino Numa. So instead of spending 30 or spending 25, I'll spend 20. And lo and behold, in the year 2024, I'd spend an extra $10 on fucking PS3 stuff. So that was dumb and annoying. But yeah, so besides veteran being broken because they just spam grenades all the time, this game's fantastic in pretty much every other right. Except for the third right. Or second right, I guess. I don't know, what is yeah, third right, right? I know history a little bit, I think. Sure. Anyway, 9 out of 10? 9 out of 10. Yeah, we'll stick with it. 9 out of 10. But yeah, that's pretty cool. I don't know why we're going with this accent all of a sudden, but that's pretty neat. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for doing any accent ever. Why is it weird? Okay, I'm trying to mess with things, and it's because this weird this shit over here. It's because of the extension. Like I don't like how it makes shit on the left and right here, but it's whatever, I guess. Anyway, Fantasy Beauties, another free game, bullshit. Who cares? 1 out of 10. Same thing with Celebrities Hacked and Cuties Hacked. 1 out of 10. They're awful, but they're free games and they're quick, so whatever. Cardo, delightful little game where you control the map. You had to pick up and rotate the actual map that you're standing on to create new areas and like puzzle your way through shit. So it's a really cool puzzle game, and I like the art style too. And it's a fun enough story. Highly recommend it. 9 out of 10? Yeah, we'll go 9 out of 10. Why not? I think it's neat. Maybe an 8. Should I go 8.5? Hmm. Yeah, let's go 8.5. Really delightful game though. Look. Anyway, we've done all these. Interaction isn't explicit. This is a cool game. I don't think there's a whole lot of like it's cool, like thought experiment sort of deal. And, like talking about game development and how interaction works in video games. It's fun. Um, 6 out of 10. Like I don't, yeah, it's kind of like a one and done thing, and I don't think it's like that big of a deal. But it's cool for like a 30-minute experience, especially because it's free. Sly Cooper already talked about it. The only thing that's worth mentioning here is that the trophies are different, but I don't think it really matters all that much. Mm. They started doing that with these like newer games where they added like different trophies for them with the new PlayStation emulator thing. But yeah, otherwise, same score as whatever the fuck I gave it before. The X Defiant. This game's shutting down if it's not already shut down. I think yeah, it's shutting down. Oh, June 3rd, I guess. But yeah, this game was fine enough. The three MVPs was a tiny bit annoying because I got one like really easily, and then the second one took a little bit of effort, and then the third one just like took forever to get. And I think the level 50s got like annoying at first, but then they made it easier and easier as time went on. So like they made the weapon one like really fucking easy these days, which I think is good because honestly, or like even when the game was alive, they made it easier. Oh, that was like good because of the fact that attachments were tied to weapon levels, and attachments like they just make the guns objectively better. And so it's like you're getting steamrolled by these people that are just better than you, like even weapon wise, like let alone the fact that maybe their reaction times or their map knowledge is better, and like they just have objectively better weapons. And so it was good as a balancing measure to make it easier to level your ship. But yeah, I mean the game was okay. I didn't think it was like oh my god, this is the best fucking video game. You know, it's whatever. For a free game, it's fun. Wish there was a little bit more Watch Dogs, I guess, in it. That's the only Ubisoft franchise I've ever actually played for any sort of like I played that tiny bit of Far Cry 3 in the sense that like I bought the game heavily discounted in a Walmart fucking years ago, and I played it, or I guess I really just turned on the disc and loaded it up just to make sure it worked. But I don't think I've played a Ubisoft game otherwise really. Um, Road Bustle Online. This was like a free game. It's not free anymore, but it was free for like a tiny period. It's a zero. You know, yeah, it's a 0 out of 10. It's a dumb Frogger type game, I guess. Takes 3 minutes to platinum. Fucking worthless, but hey, free platinum, right? Light in the Darkness, really cool. Very. Oh, hey, by the way, Celebrities Hacked. There's another one. That one sucks. Terravit sucks. So whatever score I give the other packed one, that was the same shit as before, I guess. Terravit. Oh yeah, this game sucked because of like a bunch of the trophies weren't working for the like the trophy worlds that they were supposed to work in, so it took longer than I needed it to, but I eventually got it done. Bunny Raider, same thing as before. This is just like, oh hey, I found out there was another version of it. And I feel like I did another version of Bunny Raiders even after that. Because I feel like I did Bunny Raiders like semi-recent. Yeah. Yeah, so there's like 3 versions of Bunny Raiders. I'm skipping a certain game because we'll get to it eventually. So that counts all those. Light in the Darkness really, I thought it was a pretty powerful game, even though the gameplay aspect of it like sucks in terms of like the character controls super slow and shit. But you can forgive that for the fact that the subject matter isn't intensely serious in the sense that it's World War II occupied area in France and living as a Jewish family. So definitely, I'd say a really powerful game on that aspect. And yeah, I learned some shit like about the particular French city that they were talking about that I wasn't aware of. Like I had no idea of that area of France being like some Nazi controlled, like the leader being like a sympathizer for shit. That was cringe, obviously. But and yeah, I mean, pretty dark game, I'd say. Free game, but yeah, I mean, definitely a love letter. It looked like for shit. And it's unfortunate that we probably do need shit like that these days, especially with anti-Semitism rising. So with Kanye being let back on Twitter. I mean, I laughed. It's like disappointing that there's fucking weirdos in our media landscape and our fucking government that are like that. But yeah, anyway, I don't know. Good. I'd say 7 out of 10. It'd be higher if the characters controlled better, to be honest. But it's whatever. It's a minor complaint. All right, let's go back to the one I fucking hate. I don't like GTA 4, but some monster on my friends list wrote me into playing it for the online trophy, and I had no idea what I was getting myself into for the Auf Wiedersehen Petrovic. And then by the time I realized it was fucking way too late, we had to fill out one of these. Where is it? Where is it? I know it's on this fucking list because I used it. Where is it? I'm probably gonna have to scroll all the way down the bottom. Where? Donde está? Dude, there's no fucking way you don't have it on this list. Why don't you have it? Wait, hold on. Enabled? Yeah. Wait, what? I don't know what I did there. I'm trying to find. There's a very particular list of why would you not have it? Oh wait, hold on, multiplayer guide. Sorry, that was my mistake. I didn't click on the right one. I forgot it's like set up differently. Um, this. So yeah, there's like 2 pages like this, which are fucking awful. So my dumbass, first of all, it's like you have to like get these. So getting the people in these matches is already pain in the ass enough. Like this is 2. So you have to win, but then you have to win with like 20 pistol kills. Um, this is like 3 people, I think, if not 4. This is definitely 4. This one. And then team death matches at least 3, where you get 5 kills. This one's definitely 4 people. This has to be 4 people, I think. Definitely at least 3, maybe 4. That one's definitely 4. Cops and crooks. It's like, oh, you gotta win it as both the cops and the crooks. Turf War, that one's fucking annoying. And then you have to do the co-op missions, and you have to do them in a certain amount of time, which every single time just meant finding where the helicopter spawns and like be really quick about it. and like bypass most of the fucking level. It's really dumb and annoying. And then on your way, you're getting things like, oh, kill someone who has a trophy already, the whatever, and then do well in the racing things and yada yada. And you have to win these races. Now, my ass thought like it was in either or. You have to do every single one of these, like not just once, but like, hey, you have to do the GTA race version, which is the same exact fucking race, but the only difference being that like, oh hey, now we added in like, what would you call it? Like now there's weapon spawns, so it's no different whatsoever. It's so stupid. So you had to do that for like two different pages worth of races, and it took forever on some of these, especially the I think some of the cannonball runs did, some of the free races did too. Like they take like 10 minutes sometimes, and it's just fucking dumb and annoying. But yeah, so we're talking 108 races, and if you're playing with someone else, you have to trade off wins, obviously, because you're not a monster, and that's the only reason someone would play with you is because you're trading wins. And so you end up having to do 216 races plus all this other bullshit. And yeah, so if I had realized what I'd gotten myself into, or what I was gonna get myself into, I would have turned the person down. But by the time I realized it was too late, and I was already fucking right in the thick of the action. Achieving the highest personal rank was really annoying too, because it's like a situation where you have to just sit there and grind forever and ever and ever and ever. Um, which is just like you just redid this one mission over and over again, which is really complicated in the sense that like you had to get a your friend has to get a bike and you have to kill a bunch of people on a boat and then you have to drive a bike up a boat area, but you have to like not get off the bike at a certain point because you're trying not to spawn in characters, and then you have to have one of the characters, what was it, whoever the host is has to hit like the R3 button because it changes the camera's perspective behind you, and then you let go of it and then it respawns like a character, and then you have to shoot him in the head, and then so you're just tapping R3 real quick and then hitting R2. So it's like a tap and a shooting head, tap, shooting the head, just over and over and over again for like fucking hours, like literal hours, and then you're swapping off with people because you have to get $5 million to rank 10. There's no like XP thing at all. It's just all about like how much money you have on the account, which is ridiculous. So yeah, I haven't beaten the game yet, so I can't really like 100% comment on it. But like probably like I would have given it a shitty score already. I'm sure if I even rated it before, but like now it's like a 1 out of 10. And we'll see how it catches up by the end of it. It's very harsh, I know. Yeah, we'll give it a 2 out of 10 just because I didn't mind the flying, and then there's a couple songs I actually like from it, but that's about it. It's harsh, but really, I just really don't. I don't like the way GTA 5 or GTA 4 controls at all. Everything fucking slides when you're driving. It's so annoying. It just feels like shit. There's no traction whatsoever. Fucking every little bit, you're just like sliding around like corners. Especially on the ones where you have to like, oh, I have to do this quick because it's a, it's like a speed run sort of deal because it's for the trophy. It's like cool. Thanks for putting that in the game where you fucking drive on banana peels the entire game. So stupid. Puzzle Drop Carnival and their shit one. I don't know, 1 out of 10 probably, or two, whatever the fuck I gave the other ones. I think I'll give them all 1 out of 10 now if I haven't already. Day Island, Riptide. Maybe I didn't talk about Riptide. I went back and did Riptide. Riptide is just not as good, to be honest, but it's not terrible or anything. The new enemy types I thought were pretty cool. I will say, like I'll give you that. There's just something more like I don't know, like it's just kind of like, oh, I've just done this game again because really I think it's just reused assets of the first game. And I like the story more of the first one. The second one was just kind of like, oh, we were trying to make it free and then we didn't, and then now it's just all this shit's happening again, and then it's like, oh boy, we're trapped in the city we're trying to get out of. Oh shit! And I mean, there's a little bit of like, oh wow, your characters are turning crazy, and then everyone's treating you like get away from us! You're going mad! You're getting all like they add in like a in-story universe to explain the Fury mechanic, but like it doesn't really work as well because the whole point is you had Fury in the last game, so it's weird that they're only introducing it as like a story thing now. I don't remember what I gave the first Dead Island. I want to say like whatever I gave the first Dead Island, just give Riptide like 1 point less. So for me, like I would think Dead Island 1, I'd probably give like a 7. So if that were the case, I'd give Riptide like a 6. But I don't know. I'm gonna stick with whatever my original thing was and just say like in whatever the other previous streams, whatever it showed up in, just give it 1 point less. Um, RoboCop. I don't know. I saw someone on my Blue Sky talking about this game where they really enjoyed it. To me, I really thought it was like generic, like is a very meh game. I don't know if I like controlled a little whatever. Like the character is just a big hulking robot who just like slowly walks in. I did like the exploration of the character, like Alex Murphy, behind the fucking RoboCop sort of deal. Like that was cool. And to be fair, I've only ever seen the first movie, so there's probably shit from the second and third movie. It either takes place between the second or the third movie. I don't know which one it does exactly, but it's one of those things. So I might not get as much of it as like a more diehard fan was. Also, the fact that you can give citations or not, depending, like you can like, oh, I can uphold the law, or I can like let a couple things slide, depending. Like that was cool. So I don't know, like 6 out of 10. Like it's very like there's some cool shit with it, but I don't think it's enough to make it really that like super enjoyable to me. Is this the first Daxter? I think this is. Hmm. I don't remember if I talked about Homefront one of the previous time. I feel like I must have talked about Homefront, whatever the last time was. I played this story like semi recently, just to do. All I did was like all the story based trophies that I had missed previously, and beating the game on. It's not called veteran, but like there's one where you beat the game without dying or restarting checkpoint, which just means play it on easy. And then there was the other one, which is being on the hardest difficulty. I actually busted out my fucking what are they called, Brady guides or something. There's like an old school sort of guide thing that they had set up. Uh, like the physical copy guides that like all games came with for like a while. I actually had one of those. My dad got one of those for the game. Like way back, when the game dropped, and so I actually used it, and that was kind of cool. But yeah, 37 out of 48. It really sucks that the last 10 trophies, obviously Platinum's ones out of the 11, so really it's just 10 trophies. It sucks that they're all multiplayer, and I missed every single one of them. So that's a shame. Hunt Showdown, I already talked about it. This platinumed in 0 seconds because it just auto pops. So, like don't really feel like in the mood to explain why Jak and Daxter: The Lost Frontier is an ass game. It's an absolutely dog shit game. And I mean, I like Daxter a lot, but I don't want to get into the whole Daxter thing. We'll save the last two Jak and Daxter games for the next stream. I think that we've done an alright amount of games, I guess. But starting here, I mean, yeah, there's a lot of double dipping of games, but in terms of like trophy hunting aspect, we've covered what is it, like 4 pages worth of shit? Yeah, like five at least. Six. Wow, 6 whole pages. So even if you cut that in half, because like, and it wouldn't fully be cut in half, but like that's still, but like double dipping on trophies. So that's at least like 3 pages worth of shit. So I think that's pretty good. Next time I can pick up with Daxter, and then skip Homefront. Again, we're skipping Yakuza because we're still working on five, but yeah, well, so let's only talk about Yakuza. We'll need to talk about Daxter and we obviously already did Hunt Showdown. We'll talk about all these rest of these ones from here. I already talked about San Andreas, I believe. I might like quickly go over the definitive edition, but like otherwise, in terms of there really isn't much of a change, to be honest. It's just the same shit. There are a little bit of nice quality of life changes in terms of like. Actually, I guess the trophies are different. Huh? Maybe a couple of them are. I'll have to look into that next time. We'll like do a deeper dive because I don't really feel like going over it right now. But yeah, I mean some of these will be skipped because I had done a previous version of them, like Ice Age, Scratch Night Adventure is one of those. Um, Fallout 4 is another one. But yeah, I mean there's enough that we can catch up with this some other stream. In terms of let's see, like in terms of a stream, I'll be doing probably in a couple days, like 2 or 3 days. I'll be doing another game from the shitty kids games, the outright catalog. 3 hour game, some sort of Monster High shit or something. I don't know. So expect that on the stream soon enough. And like I said, 2 or 3 days about this time starting. The stream, this one didn't last as long, but to be fair, these sort of streams usually only go for like when I'm rating games, they usually only go anywhere between like an hour and like 2.5 hours. So usually more like about the 2 hour mark, give or take. But I'm also just back from vacation, like I said at the beginning of the stream, so I've only been back like a day. And it was 3 fucking hours. So yeah, I'm a little bit jet lagged, I guess you could say. But yeah, whatever. I think it's good enough for little old me for now. Yeah, at least helps me get back in the swing of doing all this, that, and the other, where we can do actual gameplay. I don't know when Ritos and I are going to be doing It Takes Two again. I'll have to check to see when the fuck he's doing that. But definitely not that day. Like, I would just like stream normally that day. So that if that's tomorrow, yeah, I mean I'll have to check actually with him, whatever. But that might come before the Monster High game, but that's the only other thing that would come before the Monster High game. I have to prioritize GameFly games to the rentals. I sure as fuck don't want to keep it. But yeah, it's good enough for me anyway. Everyone, it's time. Do 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 do. And stop streaming.